Hey chat, how we doing today? I hope everyone's weekend has been going well so far. As for me, I have been lying on the floor of my studio for like the past 20 minutes. I'm fine, it's just more comfortable down there sometimes rather than sitting in a chair. Alright, so I did take the liberty today of doing a little bit of work off stream. I haven't done any actual animation. However, I have made some notes myself as to some things that I need to double check once I've finished like the main animation part. So I'm going to pull this up. There we go. So it's not very much at the moment, but I do have a few things to check. So these here are the frame numbers, so it'd be frame 0, frame 72. It'd be like speed up timing between each jump frame, because I'm looking at this today. I'm looking at it here, and this seems excessively slow. And I do need to speed up the looking there, but like this is fine. Like this bouncing along the platform is okay. That probably could stand to be sped up just a little bit. In fact, I'm going to add that to the list. Because I know there is a frame here where it's probably... Which frame is this? Frame 382. Bounce speed is too slow. And I'm just going to put this up on screen so everyone can see what I'm doing. So, frame 382. Check. Squash and stretch. I'm just going to say check squash and stretch to bounce. Because I think the bounce here is one frame too short, and it already extends by the time that it hits that top section there. So really, like, the ball should be coming off on frame 382 as opposed to 383. So if I look at this... Oh wait, no, it is actually at maximum height here. No, that is correct, actually. So what am I pinging here? Because something about this bit here seems a little bit off. That's fine. Okay, I think I must have just been going overly slow on that. So that doesn't need to be checked. So bounces up there. In fact, I'll just... So there is one thing that I put on this list near the end that you in chat might be able to see. So I had a thing here. Also, I thought I put that to be... Why is it on top? Okay, so I had this here, where like a third bounce might be required to arrest momentum on it. In fact, I could actually... I wonder if it'd be worth rotating this. So have this do a full flip, and then have it rotate like until it comes to about this point here, or whichever point, like right here, where it stops rotating. But I am not entirely certain of that. But regardless, I think I am going to add an extra bounce to that. I might make this a long bounce here a bit shorter. So this one here. So that here needs to be down a bit. paths. Oh, now that there is not vector, that's annoying. Hopefully that doesn't mess it up too severely. Regardless. Okay, probably not that much. So I want to base it off of frame 534 is where I want this to be based on. What about here? Okay, so that's a bit shorter than the first one. And then I can have one more bounce to a roundabout, like a bit further. So, got that there, so 538 there, and then say 5 frames later, 1, 2, 5. And then this frame. So then this slot here. So that's all vector. I guess the problem here inherently is actually the bounce itself. Yeah. Okay, so that definitely needs to be vectored. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay. So I need to... Actually, you know what? The Z here is actually entirely pointless when I can just do this, you know? So that goes down just over halfway. So this actually needs to be down a bit further. So update paths. So now if I do this, I think that's okay. So long. So I'll start, say, from 485. So 485, and then it does that, and end at, like, say, 560. So it bounces along, does that. And then this one here, I wonder if it requires an extra bounce. Probably doesn't. It does, however, probably require a little bit less X movement. Because that is still moving quite far. Let's try a little bit lower. So if we do this now, okay, that should be fine. So then this here needs to be... but then I've gone ahead and done that. So that's actually 3 frames there. But I haven't done the couple of frames I would require for this animation. But here... So... So that And then probably one frame sufficient for this one, we'll see. I need to do this one as well. And then make this negative. And then just readjust it. This one here, I'm gonna Alt G. I'm gonna move this probably along one frame. So now we've got this. So it moves up to here. So then this one on frame 530, I want to squash it there. And then duplicate this one. Make it positive. Maybe adjust that just a little bit more. Okay. And then, like, for this last bit here, I'm just going to have sweet FA in terms of squash and stretch. This. Okay, I probably actually even need less squash stretch here. Probably like half that. And then this one up here. Do that. And then this one here. Is 2 frames really necessary? I might just do 1 squash frame here. Like a very minimal amount of squash. And 544 doesn't require any squash stretch at this point. And then after that I'll have it look back and then I'll have it roll off screen. Alright, so let's say give it 16 frames. Oh, where it actually ends on 560, that's impressive. And then so set the keyframe here. And then say +8 for this. So it looks back. And then say another +16 here. Where it pauses for a second, reflects on its journey, and then +8 where it goes. Sorry, +8. Oh, it's where it's starting. So then +8 here. And ungrab that. Actually, do we feel like that's a bit short? Let's increase that by, say, frames. Just give it a little bit longer. One, let's give it 5. Make it a little bit asymmetric. So it's back. Probably even give this another 8 frames. Remembering I've still got to cut some animation time off the some of these other things here. So like say the jump frames at the start, um, speeding up the look animation around about frame 84, just all sorts of things I need to take into consideration. But this is a surprisingly long animation even for me. Actually, isn't there a setting where I can show... Here we go. So I can see that it's almost a 30-second animation. So that's pretty impressive. So I'm gonna control that to back to frames. I find this to be a little difficult to read sometimes with the timing, but eventually I might turn out to like it a bit better than the standard frames, we'll see. So have that. Is this too short? Although I will have this snap back a bit faster. And then say plus 16 frames, where that gets into keyframe, and then say frame 645, have this off screen. So it does that, returns back to initial position. Probably say it's a bit fast. Let's try 650 then. Is it because of the acceleration that's so fast? Or actually, could even be the fact that I've got it dragged too far off screen. We'll try adjusting the timing on this first, though. So have this accelerate, but then have it add a vector at the end. Because this is supposed to be taking off from a rolling standpoint. So it's going to be rolling off the screen, but it's not going to slow down at the end. Okay, that's a little bit better. And then say in this at 6. So it does that, looks back, and then rolls off screen. I don't think that time is too bad. Yeah, I think that's fine. So I need to add in all the extra movement here, like from, I believe it's this point onwards, it needs to have the animation looked at. So frame 432, what is that? It's around about here? Okay, so I didn't add any anticipation to this movement here, where it would want to bounce backwards slightly before looking forwards. So I should probably add that. So 432. Or do I want to adjust the timing of this first to give myself some more space? I think adjusting the timing off of this first is probably the most important. Also, this needs to be fixed here because for some reason it doesn't have the squash and stretch that I was expecting it to have. So start this at frame 1. So we've got this squashes down correctly here. So I want to have the implications of a squash here. Also, I have no idea why this thing just refuses to be in full screen view. It always starts in Windows. So frame 11. Wait, really? Frame 11 of all things? I mean, fair enough. So, yeah, frame 12 here. So I want this to have on frame 9. I want this to be reversed. So it squashes just the way that I'd want it to. So it goes along, squashes there, and just straight into the intro. So now this lot here, it's around 2 frames. So it's 1 frame each side. I think would probably make it fast enough, but we'll have to see. I'm going to grab the dope sheet for this one, I think. So 1 frame off of each side. Actually, what is this based on? Oh, it's based on the squash and stretch and not the actual movement. That could be important though, because the squash and stretch here probably needs to be around here somewhere. So is this even? 1, 2, 3. And 1. Oh, it's 4 here. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that's 1, 2, 3. Oh, that is 4 for both sides. Okay, my bad. Alright, so being able to see everything here. I'm going to say 1 frame on both sides here. And then 1 frame on both sides here. Up the paths so I can actually see what I'm doing. There's actually too much space at the top of these, so I'll have to adjust that. Alright, let's see what it looks like now. Okay, that's quite a fair bit faster. Now, I do need to adjust. Graph editor, I need to check the setting of motion on that. Because it's like too squared off at the top, you see. Also, that's in the wrong position. That's that. And then that's it on that side, so update paths. And then move these 2 down. So that's actually a parabolic arc. Now this one here, I need to scale these back. And then maybe scale this in just a smidge. Okay, so now we've got a little bit more going on here. And then this one, just adjust that bit. And then scale these, probably around about here. So there is the arc, but it's not brutal. Like, it's not floating in midair. We even go as far as just that. Alright, let's have a look. So this one here, I still need to, okay, so that is what, frame 66? So, 66, and squash/stretch. So that will tell me that I just need to add the squash and stretch to this thing, just to finish this animation off. I think probably what I'd need to do here is I'd need to squash it in here and then like stretch it out towards the side slightly before coming back. So just make it look a bit wobbly, more or less. So the idea would be to have it come in like this and then have it rock side to side almost. So like it only just notices the wall. And then have it, yeah, do the thing where it winds up and has a look at the thing. And then have it, okay, I think maybe this motion here needs to be a bit shorter. Do I have that on the list? So that's frame 130. So, comes back, winds up and jumps upwards. What do we think about the speed of that? Honestly, I think it has a good amount of weight and speed to it, so that can stay. So then this... Did I forget the squash and stretch on this one as well? No, I didn't. I don't think at least. So, look through this again. Yeah, so this motion here needs to be edited, and I'm pretty sure that I've already got that on the list. So that becomes, this one here needs squash and stretch. And then this stuff here needs to be edited. So, first of all, this motion here, I think it's actually probably... Is it fun? Like, I'm going to be going through this again probably off stream, because this coming week is obviously modeling week. I don't really want to bore y'all with animation all the time. So, yep. I think the motions up here with these additional bounces could actually probably be changed up a bit. Because I think the rocking motion back and forth is just a bit too janky. So I'm going to zoom these in. And where is this? So 520 being the frame where it coalesces at the top. So yeah, these ones are kind of important that they have to stay stable in the middle. I think that's a bit better. So it still rocks, but like not nearly as much. And the arc is fine. So I might have this one on the prior frame. So if that's correct, have the wireframe the... Hey, Likely, how you doing? I see you with your globe. So that squashes down. So that should probably be 0. Also, I've seen the atrocities you've committed on Discord. God may forgive you, but I will not. So, yeah, I need to wind up on this. And then it rolls off screen. And then, because I shortened the amount of time it takes for those initial bounces, the space at the end is a lot bigger. However, I do need the extra space anyway because of the whole trying to get momentum up. I don't need that anymore. So, let's see what's on the list. We've done that. So we can change that to basically be checked. I sensed the risk, but I found it funny and had to take the chance. You sensed the risk, did you? Do you not think before considering the actions of your consequences, Likely? I know you sensed the risk, but do you think about the consequences of your actions? Okay, so check the squash stretch, maybe poor timing, because I did see a little bit of jank. Might want to change this to be only a couple of frames. I thought about the consequences as a result of the sense. Well, as long as you thought about it, I suppose. So, where is it? So, why is this... Okay, I want to make this a little bit more realistic. So, say that much. How much was this? 2? Yep. And to this side. Alright, let's see how this compares. I thought the reaction was also good, but maybe I'm misreading it. Yeah, I'm not angry, but just maybe relax on the references would be my advice. Or do I want the squash and stretch to be more cartoony? You know what, I think the more cartoony squash and stretch is actually the way to go now that I think about it. Okay, so now this here. So this actually needs to be extended out a bit. I also need to do the squash and stretch on that. So I've got... Oh, that might actually be the reason why. So I think I have these all on frames where... Understood? Yeah. I'm not angry, it's just that, there is a chance that if people see the references, they might think it's fine to post, the full things. And while, it's fine with the community currently being as small as it is, if, say, I got a big raid and people were seeing that sort of stuff in the Discord, they might think it's okay to post, more explicit stuff. Like, it's fine to keep it up. I'm just saying, like, maybe bear that in mind just in case. So, yeah, I think I have this. I don't want to try and move these around. Rightio, yep. If I grab these, that seems a bit smoother. Yeah, I feel like this is one of those things where the extension has to be right before it hits the ground. Like, that extension needs to be right before it hits. So, knowing that, take this, and I think it's frame 65 is the last one. Minus that, and just and then say this one here, and then frame here. So it like rocks backwards and forwards. Like, I want to consider the ledge first before having it throw itself up there. So I'll just grab everything in the dope sheet and move it along, say, 4 frames now. And then have this back just a little bit. So, like, at that point I want to have, like, maybe 0 squash, but then have this be, say, divided by 2 and then minus. And then 1, 2, 3, and then Alt G that. So it comes along, bounces along, and then it comes to a stop. Might even say make this 1 frame longer. So 1 frame longer there, 1 frame longer there. So it bounces along, bounces along. Okay, that's... What do we think, chat? Do we think this ball has character? It's actually kind of cute the way that it wobbles like that. Kind of looks like, So, you know, like the Russian nesting dolls? Sometimes you, like, push them around, they sort of just stay upright. Or like one of those punching bag toys. Like these sorts of things. Where it's weighted at the bottom and then you push it and it, like, topples around and then stands back upright. Reminds me of one of those. So it... Actually, on that one, I might make it just a little bit mixed. Like, say, minus 0.0. Okay, so bounce along. Actually, now that I think about it, it's probably a little bit Like it sort of wobbles. Try see how it goes. Alright, I think it's good. I might, again, it's subject to change, but I think this is alright so far. Might give this 4 frames. So it bounces along. I might have to... How far does it squash down in order for it to... Where is that frame? Okay, let's check the foam path of this. So 178, I probably want to drag this out further for what I'm about to do. So I want it to come around here, 162, like really squash it down. Like really exaggerate the movement. That's a lot better, I think. Because obviously if it's going so high, like it wants to exaggerate a bit more. And then yeah, it bounces forward. So check the squash stretch for that, that's fine. Frame 66. Or roughly thereabouts. So that's the squash and stretch for frame 66. So the look animation. Why did I say this one to be sped up? Okay, so like the initial stretch up towards this. So I want to maybe give this 1 frame off each. Let's have a look, see. Yeah, it's a lot snappier. Oh, what's happened here? Oh wait, actually that's the wrong one. Whoopsies. So... Oh, that is the correct one. What am I talking about? Move that. Move a frame from here. And remove a frame from here. So that does that. Why do I feel like there's a pause right here? This moment where it leaves the ground. It shouldn't be because it does launch correctly. No, there isn't a pause there. I guess messing about with this one didn't work out quite in my favor. That's fine. So this one here needs to be moved back a frame. And then that one is perfectly fine as it is at the moment. So it looks up, bounces. I might give it a couple more frames here. Oh boy, what have I done? Okay, it's because I had the other one selected. That's fine. So it bounces up. I might give it, first of all, some, probably a frame or two less on these bounces. Because it does move quite slowly from the looks of it. Or the arc might not be high enough, perhaps? It's a little bit hard for my untrained eye to tell. So... I want to give this a few more frames before it starts moving. And I actually want to give it a wind up on 215. So if 215 squash stretch for the more I use this to-do list, the more things I find to do. Oh, what's going on here? I just got distracted by Discord for just a moment. Ah, hack alert. Okay, good thing I checked that. So the TLDR is don't click on any messages that these guys send you. Sounds about right. So that squashes into there, and then once it starts moving, I want it to sort of move backwards. Like, I want it to maybe tilt back before going forward. So have it like, let's see. So before it starts moving here, I maybe want to have a frame where it like stretches out before squashing. So maybe I want to have it move this way. It's just putting all these little details in. And this one here is actually quite interesting because apparently I already put in a... So this is the squash stretch for the paws. So it hooks both ways. And I find it interesting how like I've made it asymmetric, but I think it works. So it does that on that side, but then that one seems slightly more tilted. I might, yeah, take some frames off this set here, because this is a lot shorter further along. Although it could, like, be initial cautiousness before moving a lot faster. So it does that. Moves up there. And then obviously I've got to do squash and stretch here. So here... So this is 215. I've done the speed up look animations. If 130, which has been changed since, but this recoil animation here, I think I did make it shorter. So I've shortened the recoil on that. So now it is just up to here. So 215. And then this probably needs to be squashed a little. And then grab this right here. I think I might have goofed here. To duplicate this. So it's like that. And then this needs to be moved here. This needs to be moved down a bit. Okay, I wonder if this movement's too fast. Yeah, that's like way too fast. That's fine. We'll extend this out. Let's just give it 7 frames for now. And then this here. Give it one there. In fact, I might give this another one. So now if I update the paths, I'm going to move that there. And then that should be fine. I think the movement here, like this general movement, the squash and stretch is fine. And then it looks off. Bounces off. Looks back and rolls out. Nice. It's just giving it all these little details that really gives it a soul. So, do I need to remove frames from this set here? Because, like, it's already relatively short afterwards. It's, like, from the looks of it, 4 frames. And this slot here has 5 frames. It's actually not too far off. So, it's up. Yeah, there's something weird going on with this here. It's like this launch off here is not going as intended. What's going on? There's like 2 frames there where it's just not consistent. Let's see what's going on in the array. Yeah. So this movement here. So I wonder if these here need to be vectored. Alright, let's retry that. I feel like that's made it worse. Yeah, I feel like it's definitely made the problem worse. Like, if I were to watch this without the distractions in the way, just a moment. feel like the start is still too floaty. Yeah, it's like it's just floating in the air. So this definitely needs to be changed. If we both bounce on that, because this is the main thing I'm focusing on right now. Now, is it spending too long in the air, or is it not bouncing fast enough? So that. So how many is it? 1, 2, 4, 6, 7. Maybe this all needs to be shaved down by like 1 more frame each side. Mm. Yeah, I think this needs to be faster, just slightly. So where is this? Also, that's not the third place middle. So that's the middle there, but what have I done with this? Weird, okay. Let's try that's here. That's back along. That paths. Somebody's fucking around outside and I don't know why. Okay, I think that's good. So if I... Okay, excuse me for a second, chat. I need to see what's going on. Alright, I'm back. I think the neighbors are doing something silly. I have no idea what, though. It's just like they're banging something outside, like probably like a hammer or something, and I just cannot for the life of me figure out who's doing it. Right, so where was I? Right, this thing. I think that's a bit better. The arcs on the thing here, like the bounces here could probably stand to be a little bit. Okay, I think the first few frames here as well probably need to be a bit steeper. So let's do that. Yeah, that's better. But that doesn't clip through the thing, does it? No, not even close. Yeah, I probably need to add some variation to the bounces up here. So maybe have like the first and last one be like a bit taller than the middle one, possibly. Good lord, now even my hair is getting in the way, bruh. This is just a stream distraction, apparently. So, if I go back to the bracket, just a moment here. And grab this entire graphic, please. Update paths, so I can just keep going. Speaking of distractions, good lord, Chad. Like, I'm for real just getting distracted today. Not on purpose, mind you, but it's still happening regardless. I actually drag a couple of these down. And then this one here probably doesn't need so much height at the top. Make it sharper. Okay, I think that looks a bit cleaner. Try that again. Okay, cool. So I probably need to then adjust the bounces on these. I also need to adjust the squash and stretch to more closely align with the bounces here. So move that along. So here. I'll make this one a bit taller than the others. Go. Just recalculate the paths. Okay, so now this one here where I need to line up. So grab that. And I'll need the dome sheet again. So, how long does this course here? Probably need 3 more frames for this. But then I want frames here to squash and stretch. say 8 frames here. So 1, 4, 4. And then I can calculate the path on that. I want to add, like, I want to be a little bit more subtle, actually. So, good. Probably even smaller than that. Like, I don't want to give the impression of it about to leap off. Let's give it a little bit less. Okay, that's a bit better. So, stretch that. Is that too much, maybe? Like, I know it's quite a fair amount of, like, squash for the jump that it's doing. Let's be fair, it is a big jump for a small ball. Especially considering the fact, I think the squash and stretch for these two here, so this one here and this one here, they both need to be swapped around. Because the ball jumps far further here. So that certainly needs to be dragged down more. Like, this one needs to be really exaggerated. So let's have a look and see how this equals here. So it stops, looks, really squashes and stretches. Looks both ways. Yeah, so this needs to be a lot less exaggerated. So I want 524. I think I want to be further up around here. And then this one here, which is the main offender thing. There's so many of these goddamn keyframes. So slightly less exaggerated. So let's see how this looks now. So it's funny because it does the 1, 2, 3 type of thing, you know? I think it's kind of works. Might need less frames. Yeah, so like that just needed less frames. But now this. That's a problem. Because now it's doing this weird thing where it actually is fully extended for 2 frames before it comes off the ground. So that needs to be moved. Okay, so Still feels clunky and slow. Okay, so the amount of time that it takes off here needs to be shortened drastically. So, yeah, that's a bit better. It wasn't taking off quickly enough, which is probably why it felt like it was pausing. Now, what is going on here? This needs to be ungrabbed. So, what is going on here? So, this probably actually needs to just be duplicated. Oh, what has gone on here? Oh, okay, I messed something up around here somewhere. Everything is like, okay, there's the desync. The desync happened because I was adjusting the time clocks. So update that. And then this here. The reason why it was off was because the... What rank is this thing? So I need to... So yeah, that takes off properly now. It's just because everything is decent. Okay, so then that bounces off there. And the animation for that last bit there needs to be added in. That's that. Okay, cool. So, this needs to be edited a bit. So, frame 215. Which is now 218, obviously, because of all the changes that I've made. So, squash and stretch to move this. Got pauses. Yeah. Okay, so frame 215's squash and stretch has been fixed. Now, 382 to 419, which is this slot here. Is it too slow? Could be, actually. It could stand to have a few less rings in the slot. So, that over. Alright, let's see what kind of result we get this. Okay, yeah, so it accelerates a bit more than the more cautious movement at the start here. So, cautiously moves up, looks around, and then moves a bit faster. I wonder if I should have it do a little hop into a roll. That could certainly be a artistic choice I can make. So, let's put one there. Do I need to make this faster? Possibly. I might need to make this... I want to have like a sort of variable speed, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to have this slot here be shorter. Let's see how it looks. Actually, is this... No, that's fine. Alright, let's watch this back again. Probably start from around there. Could probably stand to have a little bit more squash on the bounces, but it's otherwise fine. And then, yeah, everyone's on screen. So I want to make this act a little bit more cartoony. So this is the top here. So say for this one, move it down to say 0.2. So let's see how it compares. Yeah, I think having this at 0.2 would probably be better. And then this one here also just be... Okay, did not mean for that to happen. What the hell happened there? I just wanted the motion of this. Alright, let's try that again if that's stupid, yeah? So, Control V, that maybe even... slight more squash there. Maybe... basically squash that so it goes into a better curve. So it does that. Yeah, and that just gives it a little bit more life. So grab that, maybe even grab this up slightly. Alright, let's see how it looks. Hopefully the movement's a bit more impactful. So yeah, I think for the bounces up here, I want to make the squash and stretch just a little bit more blatantly obvious. So... this definitely needs to be squashed down more. And that actually does need a bit of squash to it. That's already on the ground. And then this one here needs to be squished a little bit. And then hold it down. So if I try this. So it actually just bounces a bit. And then squashes, stretches. So I probably want to drag this down just a smidge more. And again, just like that. And then this one here, which actually needs to be moved off to the side just a small amount. Alright, so if we play this now, it just gives it that slight bit more elasticity that it didn't have before. Okay, so it does that. Okay, so yeah, the movements here also need to be changed. I even squash this down a bit more. Wait, just like that much though. And yeah, that's not going to be helpful. So this all here needs to be moved around a bit. So I just need the top. And then this one here needs to really be squished down. So then that squishes. This one here needs to be moved across a bit. And then this here needs to be moved and also probably just extended a smidge. And then grab that down. And then something's going on here. Yeah, I think I want to have it move backwards and forwards slightly like it did earlier. We'll have a look see. So frame 420. So if 420, so I've adjusted the bounce speed on these. So that can be marked on the list. And then anticipation to look animation around 432. Which I have already done actually. Thank you, past me, for getting that over and done with. So I don't need the anticipation one anymore. Edit the wind up, it looks wrong. This here, 493. Oh yeah, I did end up editing this because the takeoff was too slow. Add extra bounces for resting momentum. Did I already do this? I think I did. The 1, 2, 3, yep. So I added the extra bounce for resting momentum. And Now, what else do I need to do? So 420, add back 4. So 420, and then it probably wants to. What do I want to do here? Probably have it wobble back and forth a little bit. And then, like, after this, make sure I have an Alt G one here. So, let that move down a bit. Have a few frames here where it does do a little thing here. Let's see how it looks. So interesting. Why is it that? There we go, probably just an extra frame. No, there's actually something weird going on here. It's overshooting the wrong thing? How is that happening? Like, y'all can see this, right? There's a weird overshoot. Now, why would that be there? Okay, I'm gonna have to consult the graph editor. Now, why is there an overshoot? Who is doing that? There's a weird thing going on here. Okay, so doing that doesn't help. Are all of them like this, or is it just that one? I think it's just that one. And is it because this thing is arresting momentum? Possibly. What frame is this? Ah, okay, so it's freezing on 419. That's why it's doing that weird motion. So if I move this to be here, so update paths, and now all of a sudden it's actually doing what it's meant to. What I need to do now is just adjust this. Okay, this looks a little bit weird now. Probably because it's leaned too far back. Actually, this thing should still be in the air on the last frame of its movement, so that actually needs to be. Okay, that should be a bit smoother now. Yeah, that's a lot better. What's going on there? Oh, I've definitely desynced something. Bruh. Okay. Okay. What have I done here? I just need to double check to make sure this is still functioning correctly at this point. Oh no, it goes further back than that. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, I could try to solve this manually. Would probably be the fastest option for me. So the top stretches up to there. So it starts there. This has been hella desynced actually. So the top here should be what a goddamn pickle this is. Alright. So at some point I desynced the movement between those two. Okay. I think I vaguely know what's going on here. So like this one here has actually been broken because of something else that I moved. So the point is finding where that took place. Okay, not there. So where is the point that it freezes? So around about 5:36. Where is this movement? Okay, so it's roughly around about here. So if I do this, yeah, it works again. So I guess something I edited around here must have broken it. So I don't know how much work I've just lost doing that, but that's whatever. I think I've lost all my squash and stretch work too. Done. Alright. Yeah, so squash and stretch I probably broke. Uh, the recoil on that probably has probably been undone as well. I'm gonna save this on here. Oh. So I need to figure out what's broken here. Okay, I think I need to reset the timing on those. And then obviously I need to do get a squash and stretch. Okay, so time to fix this stuff. So the first obvious one is... Was it because of these? It might be. Okay, so that was fixed. Sorry, chat. I had to stop my yapping for a few seconds there to just let the sneeze out. Ugh. Okay, so probably even move that down a bit further. And then save this one. Make it action. Look. Weird. Oh, and then I this. So how many frames is this? Yeah, I think I need to fix the timing of that. I just realized, is the time of this off? I need to check. Is this asymmetric? 2, 6, 2, 4, 6. Oh my god, it is. 2, 6, 2, 6. And it lands on that one. Okay. So first of all, that's not meant to be like that. Second of all, make this a bit snappier. Okay, it's probably a bit too fast now, but it doesn't look good. Alright, that's good. And then this here. Going to remove 2 frames off that. Now I need to re-exaggerate the movement on this. So, like I really need to exaggerate this movement. Line needs to be dragged over more. Need to get rid of the bots and chat. And then, did I remove the... I think I already removed the frame, like the recoil on this. Like, I already removed the extra frames from the squash and stretch on the lead. I might make these all cumulatively a frame shorter. Paths. Might make this. Uh-oh. Shit, I broke it again. So, for whatever reason, the top wasn't moving like the way that I'd want it to. So, this still needs to be... Oh wait, did I accidentally give the exaggerated squash to the... I did. I accidentally gave the exaggerated squash to the look animation as opposed to the correct animation. I will make that a little bit swoopier though. Okay, yeah. Go. And then... that definitely needs to be more exaggerated. Okay. And move this. And then this as well. Alright, let's see how it looks. I think it looks a little too sharp. Also, why is that squashed there? That doesn't need to be squashed. So that one there... okay, I need to sort this out. Because it's starting to get a bit dense with keyframes here. So... first of all, that actually needs to start squashing down on the frame. So that needs to squish down. Let's just check this for a second. Alright, so I haven't packed anything up, it seems. How do we think this looks? I think it's a bit too stiff still. So that needs to be... so got that. So this moves here. So frame 82, it starts squashing. And then, wait, is this one frame too soon? Perhaps? Possibly. Update paths. That long. And then see how it goes. Okay, and now it no longer has the pause here where it starts moving along. So if I want 6, 8, give that 3 pause. Okay, what the hell? Oh, that's really broken stuff. Okay. Let's try that. Okay. Just need to update the paths on this. And just need to give this thing a bit more squash and stretch. I probably... Do I want to readjust the timing on this? Possibly. So I want this to be back 1 frame. And then drag this down. So that squishes before stretching. I might just a little bit more. Like really go into that curve. And then this one needs to be readjusted. Yeah, and then this one bounces forward, but then just sort of pauses, like an overshoot almost. So if I switch this off. Not looking both ways. Now, did I see a pause there? That's a question. Probably needs to be a bit of a better wind up to move forwards. And also probably a bit faster too. Back. Yeah, it's like too many frames between this. Say 1 frame less for each of these. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so that feels like it sticks a little bit less. So now I've just got to readjust the squashes on all those. Just going to double check the ending to make sure I haven't broken anything yet. Okay, cool. Haven't broken anything. So it's just time to mess about with the squash and stretch of all these. This needs to be a lot further down. Let's bring up the ground. across. Pull this all the way down. And same with this one. And this one here. So this here, I need to readjust the movement so that it has like a little bit of overshoot. So this one here, water frames. So it like bounces that way, but then I sort of want it to recoil back. That. That back. Let's see what it looks like. Let's just move that up a bit. Let's make it look a little bit more like a curve. So it bounces forward. Alright, let's see. So it bounces along, stretches up. Up. I feel like it's still maybe a bit stiff when it's bouncing along. So, yeah, like that. I wonder if it's because there's not enough stretch to match the squash. It's just that I don't want this thing to be entirely made of flubber, you know? So looking at the squash stretch here. This. So this. Yeah. And then this hits on Frank 31. I don't quite. So this like really needs to be squashed down. And then this one here. There we go. And then this is where you can fix to do like that. That. Alright, let's see how this looks now. Yeah, I think I need to give it a little bit more spacing on these last couple of actions. So I guess I'm gonna have to extend this even more. So does that. And that just sort of goes immediately to look. So I think I extend this by 8. And this here needs to have a little bit of recoil to it. And then this needs to be extended out by, say, 6 frames. So 690. I can actually have this move a bit slower. So have this roll on the screen. I'd have to basically sort of give an indication as to what it's going to do next. That's the wrong key. Why did I do that? Oh, what have I done? Why can I not see the floor? Chat, I might have goofed. I don't know what I did, chat. The floor has disappeared. Widgets is fine. Okay, for some reason, Blender was just like, nah, you don't get to see the floor. Like, bro, what did I do to hurt you? Besides call you various insulting names. Let's update the cards here. Yeah, so I have to give it an indication that's about to roll that way. So save frame 646. Add squash stretch to indicate. And then I need to add squash stretch for this motion here too. So this is frame 2. And then squash stretch. Alright, I think I might end off stream there, chat, because I've gotten quite a fair bit done today, and I've still got to chew over a few more things on this list. Tomorrow should be the start of more modeling streams. It's going to be the start of the modeling week. I have half an idea as to what I'm going to do, but I haven't fully fleshed it out yet. So, depending on how things go tonight, it might show up or not. I'll tell you guys if it actually succeeds, though, tomorrow. So, end off the stream. I don't think I have anyone to raid. Do I have anyone to raid? I do not, unfortunately. Oh well. Anyway, I shall see y'all tomorrow, where hopefully I should have a fully formed idea as to what I'm going to do for modeling.